everyone. I am so excited today because I get to interview Randy Lipkin, and she goes by R.T.W. on some of her books, Randy on other books. But this book, self-published, okay? And look at that cover, first of all. I want to give her a standing ovation. It makes me so incredibly happy when I come across a self-published book this good. This needs to be a movie, all right? I have never read anything like it. And I was reading it going, oh my God, this makes me so happy. And it did. It made me so happy because it is that good. I will tell her, no worries. I can't stand up and give her a standing ovation, but I will do my best. And I will also do my best not to say how much I love this book a million times, but just between you and I love this book. Here is Randy. Hi everyone, I am so excited because I am speaking with author Randy Lipkin, and we're talking about her new book out this week, Never Enough Time. And first of all, let's just look at that cover for a second because this cover is so amazing. But I want to tell you something, Randy. If I could stand up and give you a standing ovation for this book, that's exactly what I would do. And I don't say that often. I really, really don't. You can go back. You can look. I've said that a handful of times. This book, it made me so happy I wanted to cry because you're self-published. When I find these books that are so good, that the story is amazing, and everybody who was around me, I have a lot of children and people, and I'm like, or I'll be laughing out loud and they're like, what are you reading? I'm like, this book. This is what I'm reading. I read every word of this book. Okay, like every word. And I loved her, the main character, Delaney, the way you speak through her. I was laughing. I was crying. She brought it. I don't know what to say. It's like one of my favorite books of the year. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much.
I will put that out there for everybody. And I read a lot of books. Okay. And this concept, if this is like, I wish that I could tell you like that this book is going to be a movie, because I want it to be a movie. So everybody out there who's listening, movie, okay? The concept of this, I've read, it's a time travel book. I'm going to say that like as a collective thing of what it's about, but the concept of the time travel, it's just, I was like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. I kept every chapter, I'm like, this is brilliant. You kept the chapters short. I love short chapters as a reader.
Yes.
Do you? Okay. So, and I know I'm talking a lot, and I'm going to let you talk in a minute, but I'm going to tell you everything I loved. I love the short chapters. I love how, because as a reader, we're always going one more chapter. Okay, I can do one more chapter. And then before you know it, you're halfway through the book, and you're like, oh my God, I just said one more chapter, and now here I am here. And as a reader, it's like to keep us going like that. And I know I've talked to other readers that say that too. They like short chapters because it's like, I'm going to read one more chapter, and before you know it, we're halfway through the book, and we're like, oh my God, I can just sit here and read the rest of the book now.
Yes.
But I see you've written a lot of books, and you've come up with a lot. I was reading some of the, your other books and what they're about. I want to be inside your brain. Okay.
But my brain has nothing to do with it.
Your brain has nothing to do with it?
No.
The pen. You're the typewriter.
No, it's, I think that creation doesn't come from your brain.
Okay.
It comes from up here somewhere. Actually, I think it's the connection between up here somewhere and down here somewhere. And if your brain is too involved, if your brain is involved at all, the creative aspect ends. The brain is what does the editing and the fixing and the spelling and, oh, I missed a comma, or this sentence really should be thrown out. But that's not where the creation comes from.
I love that. I love that. I know, I really do, because I was thinking when you made it look so easy, okay?
Oh, well, that's so good to hear.
Yeah, you made it flowed so easy, but I know, like, as somebody who's tried to write, okay, I'm like, this is not easy. You make it, the fact that you made it look easy means how much work went into it, but it flowed. And I was reading people, like, whoever was standing next to me, and they're like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, listen to this sentence, listen to this. Like, I was laughing out loud and annoying everybody around me. But I love, like, okay, we can give the concept without giving too much. I'm going to let you do it because I don't want to give a lot away.
The concept can be given away because the concept is obvious right from the beginning.
Right.
So you want me to do that?
Yes, you do it.
Okay. All right. So the protagonist of the book, who's also the narrator, the only narrator, is Delaney Archer. She's 16 years old. She's in high school. She's about to be valedictorian. She is kind of a loner, and she's reading a lot of old science fiction, including a book which is never really named, but which I think readers might recognize as Time and Again by Jack Finney, which is one of my favorite books. And I've referenced it in other books I've written as well. I love Jack Finney. I love really everything he wrote. So forget that. And she goes to bed, and she wakes up in the morning, and she's somewhere she's never seen before. And it's freaky, like what happened, she just doesn't know. But as she comes to find out, she's not 16 years old anymore. She's 23. She's in graduate school. She has a whole host of friends that she didn't know when she went to bed last night. She has a boyfriend. And her life has completely changed. But it's only to her. The people around her don't think it's weird. They don't think she went to bed last night 16 years old. They've known her since she was in graduate school. So she's, okay, now this is great. I don't have to be in my mother's house anymore. And I can have a drink, and I have friends, and I have a boyfriend. This is wonderful. And then she goes to bed that night and wakes up the next morning, and it's 7 years later. So she's aged 14 years and 2 days, and she starts getting a little inkling that maybe a pattern is developing here.
Yeah. You want to know one of the lines and this isn't a giveaway, every stage she goes throughout the book, okay? She just has these hysterical, like, that is what I loved about the book, was like looking at it through her eyes. You are hysterical, okay, because you're writing this through her. But at one point, I think it was in her second day or third day, and she goes to get a cigarette, and her best friend's like, you quit smoking 3 years ago or something. And she's like, why would I do that? I was cracking up. I was like, oh my God, that is so funny. Because I can only, I was kind of putting my life in there, and I'm thinking, what if I, woke up 7 years later and, and then I'm married and I have 2 kids. I'm like, who did I marry? What was it like?
Yes. What happened?
Yeah. And
how did I get here?
Yeah. How did I get here?
I mean, at one point she wakes up in a different city.
Yeah.
Where she's never been before. Like, what am I doing here? What happened? Who is this person in bed with me?
Yeah.
And what am I going to do about it?
Yeah, and she goes, when she's in graduate school, she has this boyfriend that she's in love with, and then she wakes up at 7 years, the next day, and she's like, what happened to him? And they're like, he married somebody else. And she's like, what?
Yes.
I liked him, Or she wakes up and she's a philosopher. She's going to be valedictorian, and then when she's getting her master's degrees in philosophy. This is all in the beginning. I'm not going into the end because everybody has to read this book, okay? It is hysterical. And, I was thinking, like, yeah, if you woke up I'm 53. If I go back 7 years, each time would shock the heck out of me. I would have been like, what? I did.
Yes.
So I love that concept. How did you think of that?
Well, I wonder how I did think of it, because I would love to come up with something that hooky again, but it just happened. I was in the middle of writing another book, which book is the first book in a 4-book dystopia series that's going to be coming out in fall. And the first book is called Nothing Personal. Anyway, I was in the middle of writing Nothing Personal, which has nothing at all to do with Never Enough Time. It's not a time travel story. It's not anything like that. And I was deep into the book. And one night, I don't know, I sat down with my husband, and out of nowhere, I got this idea. And I was like, wait, and I hold up my hand, wait, and then you have to shut up while I run over and write down my idea, because he's used to this.
He's used
because
to it.
I write down everything. I write down if he wakes up in the middle of the night and I'm sending myself an email with an idea that I just had. So I wrote the idea down, and I said to him, I don't really know, but this idea is amazing, and it's a bestseller. I just thought that it would be. And so the next day, I did something I have never done before. I wrote an outline.
Wow.
So I am not an outline maker for my books at all. I wish I were, but I'm not. I'm what they call a pantser. I work by the seat of my pants, sit down at the computer, and whatever happens, happens. So I wrote a plot for this book, and I wrote this major outline. It only took me like an hour. I was like, well, great. This book's going to be so easy to write. And then I decided I was going to write both books at the same time, which was kind of a lot because I have a high word count quota for the day, and I also have a job. So I was writing Nothing Personal. I was writing 2,000 words a day on that. And then I started writing Never Enough Time, and I was writing 2,000 words a day on that too. But the interesting thing is, how much of the outline did I use? Zero. I used none of the outline.
Wow.
And the book flowed. I have never had a writing experience this pure. That's the only way I know how to describe it. I would sit down, and it just happened. It was like, I mean, authors talk about this, like the characters talking to them or talking through them. That's what this was like.
I could so tell. I really could. I mean, it did just flow. I mean, and it's so funny. I don't know. I could just tell that it just flowed because you're in her head. You're talking as her. Okay, so she, her thoughts and her words and her reactions, and that's what I was like, this is a bestseller. Like, how did I find this? Like, I was just so happy that I found it. You have no idea. And, just so you know, like, whatever books you have coming, I will read anything you write, okay? You know where to find me. When you have a book coming out, you just email me, and I will read it, and we can talk again, because you are an amazing writer, and I love finding people like you. And I feel like, oh my God, I found her. Like, I want to shout it out, like, read this book, you have to read. I will be shouting it out, but I wish I knew other people to shout it out to, because it is that good. And I don't know, I just kept picturing like an actress. We've seen Groundhog Day, and it's not Groundhog Day. We've seen, and it's like,
it's kind of Groundhog Day flipped on its head. It's sort of how I thought about it. And I love Groundhog Day.
Yes.
It's a great concept. It's a wonderful movie.
Right. But it's so different. And to picture this girl, and then she's going to change, and then, and then I get to the end, and there are no spoilers here, but people, the ending is just, it's just so fantastic. I kept trying to figure out how you were going to end it. I kept thinking, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And I never in a million years thought that that's how it was going to end. And
that's great. I'm glad
it wasn't out of left field. Sometimes you get to a book and you're like, I don't even understand how that ended. But I did not feel that way at all. I was just so happy. And you put such a, there's so many thoughts that go through here, and like you were saying about how you don't think the brain, like what she goes through is, I love it. It's not new age, but it kind of is, and it's right up my alley. Like that is what I think about. Like, answers a lot of questions. She's got questions about whether, she can't figure out what's going on, and I love she like makes lists of what's going on, and tries to cross them off of, I'm dead. I'm not dead. So anyway, it's just fantastic. And your first line, I'm a first line person, and I love that when you wrote, there's never enough time. And then we go through the first chapter, and that's kind of like how it builds up of like, how much time is there? Like, how much time do we have? And of course we find out, and
Yeah.
I feel like I've talked the whole time. But anyway, you've been writing. So tell me what number book this is.
Wow. I'm not exactly sure. Somewhere close to 20, I think. I have, if I count the books that I never published.
Okay.
I'm not counting the two that I shredded.
That nobody will ever see, right?
Never. Neither will I. No, they're lost forever. There's other things that nobody will ever see that aren't lost forever, but if my computer crashes, they will be. But I think it's close to somewhere in the 20 area.
Wow.
It's the like eighth book or something that I've written under the pen name I'm using now, R.T.W. So.
Yeah, and you do write a lot of series. This is not part of a series, right?
This is not part of the series, no. And honestly, I prefer standalone books. But I know that readers like series. And when I wrote Origin Phase, which is a time travel story, I realized that that was going to be a series because by the end of the book, I knew who the character for the next book was going to be.
Right.
So it's like the day I finished that book, I started writing the next book.
Wow.
And the dystopic series that I just finished writing is basically a series because it was too long to be one book. I mean, it's almost 500,000 words among the 4 books together.
Wow.
So, yeah. So there's no way that could have been a book, and no one could pick it up. Or you could pick it up on your e-reader. But anyway, it's interesting. You were talking about short chapters, and as a reader, I love short chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think one of the things I like as a reader is a feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment.
Yes.
And resolution. And when you have short chapters, you get that feeling with every chapter.
Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I do, if I look ahead and I see it's a long chapter, I'll put it down easier. Because I'll be like, oh, I don't have enough time. I got to invest a little bit more time into that chapter. Because I rarely stop mid-chapter. I
don't like that either. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like if I've started it, I've got to finish it. But if I see that it's like 20 pages, I'm like, oh, I got to go do something else. I'll come back. So I really think that you hook the readers, the short chapters, just hook them, and the way you end, a short chapter too makes you like, wait, what? And then you're like, I got to read the next chapter. And that's how this book went, of course, because she's, it moves fast. It's like every day and I don't know. It just moves really, really fast. So basically, do you write every day then?
I write every single day. Although I didn't write today.
Not yet.
Because I just finished a book 2 days ago. And yesterday I spent doing marketing promotional work for Never Enough Time. And today I'm really revising, not writing.
So, but you're working on this this is your full-time job, basically. You just writing.
It's my full-time job, aside from my other job. Yes.
Aside from you. Well, I'm just thinking to write as many words as you do, it's got to be like up there in full-time jobs. So,
I write a long time every day. I do. And the thing is, because I'm a freelancer in my other job, I can devote as much time as I want to the writing, as long as I know I have enough work time left after that to work on my job.
Awesome. Well, I want to show off this cover one more time for everybody. And
Thank
you can find it. I'm going to have the link to Amazon, so you will be able to get it. One click on that link, one click over at Amazon, and it's yours. I love Amazon, so I will have this. But
yes, you too.
Feel this. I love these soft covers. That have that like velvety feel to them.
Yeah.
I love that. And look at this picture. And you do give props at the end of the book to the person who designs your book covers. But look at that book cover.
She's amazing, my book cover designer.
I just love the blues and look at all the clocks and
yes.
What a great cover this is. And like I said before, you know where to find me. We can always talk. And I was going to say I have all her links listed, but guess what? I don't, because she's not on social media yet. So, because you know what? That would distract from your writing. So I think you should just keep writing, because you're an amazing writer. And, I feel very incredibly blessed to have met you. And let's please keep in touch. And just, whenever you're ready for your next book, I will read it. Send it to me. We'll get the video out, and I will promote you as much as I can.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Yes.
It's a pleasure talking with you.
Yes, so we'll keep in touch, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Randy. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.
All right, everyone. I hope I wasn't too annoying. Okay, I tried to keep it, hold myself back from telling her how awesome she is. But here we go. Look at this cover. Go get this book. Links will be listed below to go get this book. She's not on social media. That's okay. I'm gonna put it all over my social media because I want everybody. This needs to be a movie. Anyone who's listening out there, movie. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Randy.